Good morning, everybody. My name is Andrea. I'm from Colombia. I'm part of the Cultural Ambassador Program. I would like to, first of all, thank you, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I would also like to have a small dedication of this presentation. I will dedicate this to my brother. He's not here right now. He's in Colombia, studying there. But he was the one that helped me through this presentation. He helped me actually getting all the ideas done, gave me all the things. So, and okay, as the title says, it will be about our performance in the World Cup and how it was a peaceful opportunity for the Colombian society. So we're going to talk about not only political issues, but also social issues, social programs, economical issues, and you can ask questions at the end if you want to. I'm going to show you some videos. One of them I edited myself, so it's very homemade, so don't laugh about it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. So, So I'm going to start with a small video, first of all. It's from the fans. This was made by one of the biggest newspapers in Colombia, El Tiempo. So it kind of sets up the mood for the presentation of what I'm going to talk about later. Alright, so I'm going to start by giving you some context of what's going on, what was going on before, what happened before, what led to this sudden feel of pride for our country and identity. First of all, the fact that we have not classified to World Cup since 1998. So that made a huge deal that after 16 years we finally managed to classify, and we had a pretty decent team for that. So that was one of the things. That was one of the main things. And the other thing is that because of the fact that we hadn't classified, and because a lot of things were going on in our society, since soccer is kind of part of our identity, it was clouded with social issues, economical issues, social tragedies, political polarization, and many other factors, negative factors. So that's why when the World Cup happened and we did such a good job, it meant a huge deal for us. So, right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the social aspect. How did that influence in a positive way? How the World Cup influenced in a positive way? This picture's right here. Well, it's me. And from the app when we won against Uruguay, what was the biggest parties over there? So this is the video I edited. It shows not only the national soccer team, it also shows other athletes that has really made us proud, not only in World Championships, but also in the Olympic Games of London. So yeah, I'm just going to show that to you. Alright. So since I'm going to talk about the social aspect, one of the things that I'm going to start with is the pride that we feel of our athletes and of our country, as a result. So, like I said before, we've had several sports people that actually have done a really good job in around the world. Like, for example, we have Quintana, which is the guy on the bottom left corner. He won the Giro d'Italia. Along with another Colombian biker guy. Also, we have at the top right corner Mariana Pajon. She won this year the World Championship of BMX. She won a gold. She also won a gold in London 2012. Down there we have Katerina Varga, which she's a long jump. Which you already saw in the video too. She won I think it was a silver in London. And of course, there is our Colombian national soccer team, because we've never been this far in a World Cup before, as far as it was. Yes.
Does everyone know what BMX is?
Well, does anyone know what BMX is? Everyone? No?
I don't know.
Okay, BMX is a sport. You have a circuit, and it's dirt, and there are obstacles. And you do it biking, and there are two modes. There's race, and there is another different mode. Our competitor for that won the World Championship this year, which was, I can't recall where, but she won it. So the fact that these athletes all had a really positive image in our country to the world, led us to this feel of joy, and also enhance some values that have been forgotten in our society. They showed us respect, fair play, unity, which, like I said before, it was kind of forgotten, but internal conflict and political issues that they really cloud the positive aspects of our society. So, and also friendship and everything and all of that. So, and of course culturally, the main impact was, I would say that you could see was the little dance that the soccer team did every time they scored a goal. I can't do it, so I'm not gonna fool myself into doing it. Although I was practicing, but no.
We won't laugh. We won't laugh.
Huh?
We won't laugh.
Hey, you totally. So, but on the other side, of this thing, one of the main, I would say one of the main projects that tries to have a more inclusive society, a more inclusive civil society, is this program that we have in Bogota, the capital of Colombia, which is called Ciclovia. And what it is that every Sunday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. you go, they close the major avenues in Bogota, and you can go biking or jogging or take a walk or go skating or whatever. This video, my brother shot it. He was in downtown Bogota when he shot it, and he was biking. That's why it's kind of raining. But I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you. Okay, so this initiative has over 2 million people in Bogota actually assist to this event. They go there. They don't only have. They don't only just go biking. Like there are some routes that they have like concerts, and it tries to be very inclusive in the city because since it is a really big city, you're gonna have exclusion and inequality somehow. And so what this program tries to do is to have like people going out, have fun together, a Sunday afternoon, a Sunday morning. And it also creates awareness in health and the environment. Bogota, we struggle with pollution, with issues like that. And it's not that big of a deal as in other cities, but we do struggle with that. So we try to create this awareness. And because of this program, actually, other countries have also tried to, include this. For example, countries like their own car-free day. So, for example, countries like Brazil, Canada, Belgium, Australia, India, and even the U.S. and some cities in the U.S. They have these programs similar to this one, but I gotta say, our program was a pioneer. So that's pretty cool. So that's it for the social aspect. I'm going to move on with the political issue. I'm going to start with a little bit of background. I'm going to start with a video, which is a commercial that was aired during the World Cup. And it goes directly to the guerrillas. And what we try to do is trying to get them to demobilize through this commercial. So I thought it was pretty, it fits very well with what I'm going to talk about in the political aspects.
Colombia le está guardando un puesto para que viva la fiesta más grande del fútbol en libertad. Desmovilícese, Ministerio de Defensa Nacional.
Alright, so what the video tries to focus on is the fact that because soccer is such a part of us, we're trying to tell them, to tell the rebels, like, come on, demobilize. We want you beside me to watch these matches in freedom. So that's a really important message that it's trying to convey, that the government has been trying to convey these past years. So I'm going to start with the background, a little bit of background on the political situation. What was the political situation in Colombia up until, I would say, maybe 10 years ago? So I'm going to start ahead. We've had years of political conflict, of political and social conflict, starting with the creation of the guerrilla groups, the FARC, in the 1950s, and then jumping up to the 1980s with the drug cartels and the drug war, which of course caused a lot of violence, a lot of forced displacement, and instability in the political arena in Colombia and the social spectrum as well. One of the most painful acts that happened that is actually regards to soccer is the assassination of the guy on the left. His name is Andres Escobar. He was a player. He was playing the 1994 World Cup. He was killed short after making self-goal, auto-goal, I don't know. He was killed because of intolerance. Some fans were like, oh, we can't have people like that there. So he was shot to death. And he wasn't the only victim. Like during those times, there were journalists, political figures, police officers that were kidnapped, were killed, terrorist attacks in the cities, car bombs, and many other things that really, really diminished the morale of the people and really kind of like affect us in a really deep way. So because of this, like we needed to have like a new phase, like a new kind of like something to give us hope, kind of like not only to get our government more stable, but also like in developing programs and all this stuff. So, which is why I'm gonna jump ahead and talk about what Colombia is now. So, in the 2000s, when the 2000s started, we were like finally getting conscious of like, okay, We need to get rid of our guerrillas. We've been fighting for them for almost 50 years and more. So we need to have like a plan for that. And so this policy, of course, was welcomed and was unwelcome as well in the political circles. But right now, I would say with this recent administrations, Colombia actually has jumped into being a leader in Latin American regional organizations. For example, just not to go far ahead, we are trying to be pioneers in a program that would fight drugs, drug cartels and drug trafficking in Latin America. We're working with DOAS, we're working with UNASUR and other organizations. Also, FARC, the guerrilla group, finally agreed to sit down in La Habana, Cuba, to negotiate the cease to the fire and like to stop the violence. And also like all of these factors that we're trying to get better and everything, it also kind of stabilizes the political circles and political parties, and because we're a multi-party system, there's a lot more competition, but we try to be a more fair competition when it comes to the elections of Congress and the elections of presidency. I'm not going to say that's what happens every time, because I'm going to talk about next is political polarization that happened this year, actually in this year's elections. So I mean, it's not like all of the political parties have a lot of power. There's always like 2 or 3 that have the most power. So, and also like trying to do development programs and economic aspects and also social aspects, like for example, building houses for the poor. For poor people that don't even have a house. So building them houses for free, trying to boost the local economy, trying to boost the international, trying to open new markets, but I'm going to talk about that later. And so yeah, so that's kind of like the positive side of what's been going on in Colombia recently. However, like I said, it's not sunshine and rainbows. The political polarization has been presented throughout the years. Like that's not a surprise to anyone, to any Colombian person. And so especially in these elections, 2014, we had elections, our president was re-elected, but the campaign itself, the election campaign, was really rude, was very, like I said, polarized. People didn't know what to do, because we had the far-right leader, Uribe, which was the previous president, from the one that is right now, and he was like really unpolite and undiplomatic about the campaign and everything, and so that kind of like had like a sense of like dissensus in a way. So it was really people didn't know what to do, honestly, and it kind of focused on 2 different debates, especially when we talk about foreign policy. These administrations, the current administration, tries to be more diplomatic, tries to be more inclusive diplomatically, tries to have more talks with other governments, tries to use international regional organizations as a pathway to building relations with countries that we don't have relations, like Venezuela, for example, or leftist countries. And so, but the other side of the problem was in the sense that